welcome back to the Appauled podcast in a special episode with a special guest. We have
Ethan, the mighty.
in this episode, we're going to find the solution to college.
And public education.
Yes, and public education.
Through the mighty thoughts of God Emperor Mike. He's going to tell us how to fix everything.
It's going to be a very intense video, so tune in now.
Do it.
But I only knew hi back. I mean had hi back in 7th grade.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Hi.
I just kind of like talked to him in middle school. I didn't really talk to him in high school. And then like we found out that we were both going to UT. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to be roommates with us?"
It's kind of sus.
and I was like,
I guess it kind of
and I was like, "Bet, you know." And like they were planning on living like off campus, which is a whole lot cheaper than staying in a dorm, and it's better quality, even though it's not like anything great. It's still better than a dorm though. And then I was like, sure, and then that's how I met Marco.
Oh,
Through him. So now we're roommates.
nice.
Sick.
No, they're pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't really talk to hi.
He's not like much of a talker.
I mean, I still wonder if he was talking to that girl.
No, whenever they were just like standing there
Because
awkwardly.
we were still swimming and he stayed behind with this girl that was in our group. And then we could see him across the river just standing there, and we were just trying to go just talking and standing next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I'll never know.
I'm trying to get Marco to come on our podcast one day because he's not too far from here.
what
He
do you
said
mean
next
that's
time.
the front end?
I thought you were.
Yeah, but like he it's like the summer, so he like comes down. We don't stay up in Austin.
Wait. Hold on.
We're from here.
Okay, from here.
Yeah.
Where
We
is
have
it?
an apartment in Austin,
The apartment in Austin.
but we only stay there like for school. So like during like winter break or the summer we come back.
See how it's treat house.
Okay. You still pay for it
Yeah.
while you're not there.
It's still cheaper than a dorm. It's like if you were to get a dorm, they kick you out during your breaks in your summer break, and they still make you pay, and it's twice as much as an apartment.
Why? Who signs up for this? This sounds like shit. Why would you do that?
Well, like if you get certain scholarships and stuff, that they like make you stay in a dorm if you want to get it paid for. Like that's like if I was getting my dorm paid for, then I would stay in one.
See,
I like paying for one.
when
I
people
think so.
describe college to me, it sounds like a fucking scam. I mean, like, certain education, cool. Education sounds nice, but when you slap on a price tag to it, it sounds
Yeah.
fucking awful. Like, we talked to this one guy at Kirby Lane saying that they were so mad about people not showing up for tests, they were start making the students pay for it. I'm like, oh yeah, keep on adding costs. The dorm costs so much more. You think they'd make it cost a little less to actually have people go there?
Well, I mean, people still go there.
Man.
There's a lot of like financial aid stuff now that you can apply for.
Yeah, but they're still trying to get money.
Yeah,
Like they're raising the price.
They're gonna get their money either way.
They're raising the price because they know Uncle Sam might step in, and other places might step in to pay them. But as long as like other people keep stepping in to pay them, they're gonna be like, all right, how much can you pay? Oh, you can pay $1,000, and Uncle Sam will come in and pay $1,000 for you. Okay, well, I guess the price is $2,000 now. I'm gonna get Uncle Sam's money and your money. Oh, Uncle Sam's gonna pay $2,000. Gosh, man, economy's real rough. I guess $3,000 where we're at now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you think about it, it's like it seems a lot. But then, like, I feel like college is a investment for the future. Depending on what you go for.
Yeah, Latinx dance theory is where I'm going for. That's what I want to get my degree in.
Like, I don't know. I feel like teachers should have their college education paid for because they're like teaching like our future and stuff.
Fuck. I want a world of burns. That's why I screw recycling. I'm all about it. Rolling coal, polluting.
Wish I had a diesel.
Hell yeah, I don't believe in the future. I live in the now. How about you, Brian?
What about?
When you're in college, what are you going to college for?
I don't really know. It's kind of wasting time.
You're just taking random classes.
I can't even take classes.
Why?
Because they won't allow me to.
Wait, for what?
Yeah, because I didn't pass the TSI.
Wait, so what class were you
I'm
taking?
just taking a math class, like
So how were you
a
able to take
business
that?
math class.
How
It's
were you able to take that?
I'm required to take that in order to take more classes. I have to pass that class in order to take more classes.
Did you pass
It's
it?
a scam, no. I'm gonna about to fail it.
Let me go and take your test with you.
Okay.
Hurry up, you have to show like your ID.
No, you
And then
don't
turn
show
it-
it.
No, you
Yeah, just
did.
give him the ID.
They know who I am.
Might have to cut that out. ACC's gonna like catch on.
Wait a minute.
My name's Gabriel Sanchez. He's so proud of ACC.
Why did
Is
you
that
take
his
basics in like for college? Like, since you guys are both college people, what can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, like for UT, they have like certain signature courses, which I think are pointless, but they're easy courses. And, like, you like mine is about the Beatles, and like I learned.
It's specifically about
The
the
Beatles.
Yes,
A
it's
whole
specifically
class about the
Beatles.
Beatles.
And like, it's funny because like through that class, I learned about psychedelics, and my professor like how he talks about tripping on it and stuff.
Wait, do you have to?
Well, it's like they have different topics.
Assignments
You can
and
listen
tasks.
for.
Because I'm asking about basics. So this is like a basic.
Yeah,
every,
this is
every,
like a basic class that like everyone has to take, but there's like different topics.
when I said like basics, I was thinking like math,
Oh, that?
English. Like,
There's that too, but like
why do you have to take?
probably. I mean, it's just like I feel like it's common knowledge for a college student to know like basic math and
Because,
like, English and like.
We don't have to go to like high school and everything.
Yeah.
You think you're like, that's my those are my basics. Why do I have
But
to?
like high school education and college education in the United States are two different things. We have like one of the worst K through 12 systems here, but like one of the best college university systems here. Which is like a lot of people like go from high school to college and like they like don't know how to study right and they end up dropping hours.
What do you think? I also, I like I'm asking you questions like this is your fault. Like you're in charge of the college system. What I'm asking the hard questions. Why is it like this? But why is there such a gap? You think?
Okay, so like, and one of my professors like pointed this out. In high school and like the K through 12 system, you have these standardized tests and stuff like the STAR test, and they teach to the test. They don't teach for your benefit, for your mastery of the content. They teach to the test. So like they give you the
Yeah, that's wrong.
material.
What's wrong with my class too?
They
They
give you the-
literally every
It's ACC.
unit.
It's ACC. What do you expect?
I mean, I don't expect.
It's supposed to be easier. What the fuck?
What do you think? It's easier.
It's not
Yes, it
easier.
is. It's like how high school is easier. In college, they don't teach the test. They teach for you to master the subject, which makes it harder to like get used to that type of class and stuff. Because like you're so used to memorize this and
So
this and this.
why
and
do you
it's gonna be on
think
the test.
they like the public school system teaches like that?
I feel like it's at the state level because like they're the ones that make these standardized tests and stuff.
Greg Abbott's
They
fault.
try,
himself.
they try to make like high standards for the state to make like them look good and like they're like okay all of our students are taking this to make sure they're on level and taking this to make sure they're on level.
So you think it's the fact that our schooling is in the public sector, controlled by the state? Is that the problem? Because they're trying to go for particular statistics, or?
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
are you? What camp are you on for like? Is it what would be the nationalizing like college or anything like that? Or where do you stand on stuff like that?
Like for like the public school system
Or like making university funded or provided by the state, like nationalizing college education. You know, when people will say, come on, help me out. When they pay for like student debt or they want to like free college, stuff like that.
Oh, so you're talking about like canceling student debt?
Stuff like that. We're just nationalizing towards like college is a part of total or the totality of education, like high school is.
Okay, so I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
Like it's part like everyone.
It's
has to
funded
go.
by something else.
It's just funded by the
Oh,
government.
it's funded,
taxes.
yeah.
Yeah. I probably
I mean-
made it too convoluted for that.
Because like not everyone's gonna go to college though. Not everyone wants to go to college.
You don't have to choose, right? But do you think
Yeah.
would the college system be better if it were nationalized, like the government had control over it, or is it better off separate?
I feel like it's probably better off separate because like once the government gets control of it, you start having like I feel like they're gonna like start splitting up more, and you're gonna have like some on the Republican side,
Civil
some
war.
on the Democratic side, and it's gonna be like a big mess for universities and stuff, and like some wanna like they're gonna be like we're gonna fund this one but not this one.
College
We're gonna give more money to this
war.
one but not this one.
But we already have that whole solution. So we already have the solution because we fund, public school as is, right? So maybe it'd just be adapting schools for higher level material, right?
Yeah, but look at the public schools. You have some districts who are low income in certain like places, and then you have like San Marcos is a low income district, and they get grants and they get funded by like the local government. Then you have like
I thought you were supposed to say like cartel.
then you have like
I imagine
then you have like the Lake Travis school districts who like everyone there is rich and their taxes are really high, but they're able to afford that money and stuff, and they're receiving that higher education, which So I feel like it's gonna create if the government does take control of university, it's gonna create a gap. And I mean, we kind of see it right now with like Ivy League schools and stuff.
Yeah.
But those are private institutions, so like they're in charge of like their own stuff. And
It makes
everyone
sense.
does it, yeah.
If you were given almighty God powers, design the system however you want, how would public schools, college, everything? How would you go about it? What would God Emperor Mike do?
Oh, that's a tough question. It's like, I mean, I feel like there's too many details. I feel like you can't have a perfect public school and like university systems, like, cause like, I don't know, cause like you can't make it free. I mean, someone has to get paid.
I mean, it's not really free, but paid with taxes. I mean,
Yeah.
they are getting paid. You're paying out of your pocket. We're getting paid out of pocket from.
I feel like well, one fix that we can do is maybe not as much standardized testing, and like especially for like maybe like I mean math. I feel like math classes and stuff like standardized testing is okay because like you're not like hands-on math, you know.
So, to replace standardized testing, what would you recommend? Also, this is a super interesting topic. I hope no one minds. But as fun as it is to talk about schooling, I think the school system is pretty interesting. How it's just solution replacement for standardized tests.
Standardized tests.
Brandon, if you have ideas, chime in.
For like, so I feel like this idea is more for like science classes and more classes that you can go hands-on with.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like taking away standardized testing and like
It's not rocket science. Mike.
making
What the
students
fuck?
like
So, like, because the whole point of standardized testing is since there's so many variables, there's so many children you have to maintain, or maintain, but educate. We need some sort of bar to see what they know, right? That's why we have standardized testing, so we can try to get everyone through this process as quickly as possible. So there's just so many people we have to train. The logistics of having something on an individual case-by-case basis is a very difficult task, right? Because it's very, what's the word? How do you go by a case-by-case basis to test everyone's knowledge without it being like a standardized test, right? How would you go about, like, what do you think the bar should be to gauge someone's level of knowledge? Right, like, because you said you want something hands-on, like for an end of year exam or something like that. What kind of I guess test? It's still going to be a test. What kind of test would accurately tell us what that student knows?
Well, I guess that would like depend on the class, cause like
So
I feel like standardized testing is okay for the core classes, English, history, math. Probably not science, because you can actually do experiments and stuff and test their knowledge.
So you think something's more proactive?
Yeah, so like maybe like those elective classes, but those don't really have standardized testing. Standardized testing is just more like in the core, but
I mean, but our issue with the public education system tends to stem from those core classes, right? And you're saying that having standardized testing is the problem, and considering that these core classes are what's building the foundation for our citizens, etc. The things that we know everyone will have, and the standardized tests are the problem. We should. Why do you think the core class should be exempt from the standardized test?
like why they shouldn't have it? Or why-
Or you're saying that they should have it. You're saying
I
like
feel like
English, math.
It's okay for them to have it. Maybe not, because like when you're taking that class, they're teaching topics that are going to be on the test, and they're like, focus on this, and be on the test through the whole year.
I mean, they do that with like English. They do
Yeah,
that with,
I feel like they should take that pressure off the test. Maybe like do like a smaller test, you know, not because like that big test at the end of the year, and then you have all this knowledge and stuff and all this stuff that you gain throughout the year, and then it's like all the pressure is like on that day on that test. Maybe like check for understanding, like small quizzes.
What are your thoughts on like more accomplishment-based education systems? So like you are graded based on what you can accomplish. Say writing, you're graded on any stories that you produce, any writings that you make, stuff like that.
Well,
It's harder to standardize.
Yeah,
right? It's hard to gauge.
like for writing and stuff. See, English was like not one of my favorite classes because like there's like so many. There's not just one right answer, and then like a lot of the time you put your opinion in it, and they're like, "Oh, this is wrong." And it's like it's my opinion. How's it wrong? You know?
There's all those questions where it's like, what do you think the author meant? Like,
yeah, and then you say something,
wrong.
and you're like, "No, it's wrong."
It's like, what did I think the author meant? Well, this is what he actually meant.
And then I feel like that's what's like when you put standardized tests to those, you can reduce that. Like, okay, you can have maybe focus on like researching or like something that's factual, where you have exact evidence, where it's not like, what do you think? It's like, okay, this is the evidence. You know, if you don't understand it, then it's wrong. Or like if you don't provide the right evidence, then it's wrong. But not like your opinion and stuff. But like I feel like in college, a lot of the papers that you write do require your opinion, but the professors understand, like, okay, I see where he's going and he's following the topic, which is like satisfaction for them. So it's not like obviously if you're writing a paper but that has to do with your opinion and you get like totally off topic, it's wrong. Like that I can understand, but like if you're like some questions to ask for your opinion, and then like you do something similar or like related to the topic, and they're like, you're wrong, you know. So it just doesn't make sense in that.
I'll be honest, didn't really follow a word you said, but I'm gonna move on. Like all that,
The whole conversation was pointless.
But okay, so apart from I didn't do a 3 year. So aside from grading, because I know that could be very like it get bogged down in convoluted little things. What are things you think could improve just our public education system, right? Something that would prepare us for college.
College.
Yeah, because I feel like our public system should be preparing us for higher education. So I find it ridiculous that we still that we have those core classes in college. So you think that we got the core classes in high school, whatever. In general, public school wise, what could you do to make things better or better prepare you for life? Personally, I'd add teaching me taxes. I didn't know to do shit about taxes. I grew up and I was like, oh my god, I have to do this? The IRS is going to come breathing down your neck. They're going to bend you over if you don't do this.
The simple idea of not teaching to the book, because like in life, you're gonna go do a job, and they're gonna like, okay, here's a book of our rules and instructions, and then you like read it and you're like, okay, I'm gonna follow this each step by the book. And then you go to a job, and then like people are doing like their own thing, but they're still getting the job done, and you're like following each step by the book, and either you're gonna take forever, you're gonna mess up because it's hard to like follow everything step by step sometimes, and it's like you have to learn to be creative with yourself and like do what you feel comfortable with to be able to be successful.
So in schools, we should try to.
I feel like we should try to embrace each student's like passion, like provide more classes of what they're interested in. So like instead of focusing on core classes, take a little bit of focus off, because it is important to have those core classes. It's like
I don't need to be literate.
it's a life skill to have, but like focus more on those
More creative elements.
interest courses. So like in high school, I took like business related courses that followed my interests, and it was like I learned a lot. You know, you have like I remember this one class had like a life simulator with like your financial stuff, and you have like this budget, and you have to you can't go over it. You have this amount of money. You have to do this day and this. You know, it like simulated life.
Yeah.
Through money, and it's like it was very helpful. And I feel like those classes like that, people who want to do like engineering and stuff, like maybe like high school level engineering classes and stuff.
So rather than the system we currently have, which is just general education, right? You're saying there should be more specialized in the sense that we should be specifically preparing people for roles they want to fill out in life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a hard thing to ask people that are pretty young, though, to know what they want, right? Like, do you know what you want to be?
I don't know.
But that's why we can like.
Oh, you want to be
At least in high school.
Drummer when,
in high school, you're not paying. Well, obviously it's you're paying with taxes and stuff. But like the student is not like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay this for this class. They can go and try different classes through each semester.
More flexibility.
Yeah, they have more flexibility.
I would just hope that by adding more specialization, because the San Marcos High School here used to be more of like an academy design, where there was different blocks that you can go into. So there was business management, there was engineering, etc. My fear is by specializing people when they're so young, when they get out, they're trained for these particular courses. We spent the tax dollars on this, and we dedicated a lot of man hours to making sure this person is qualified for this particular task. And then they get out, and they're like, I don't want to do this. This is a fucking waste. I want to be something else. Yet they don't have that general education to be able to switch to any other particular role, right? You're just
That's kind of what college is for, though.
a lot of people get screwed over in college, where they go through and they graduate, and then they get that degree, and they're like, engineering. I want to be an artist.
Yeah. Like even in college, you can transfer majors, like.
Yeah.
Because like your first 2 years are primarily focused on your core classes, so you're not taking any major specific courses. So you can transfer majors like you're taking your core classes are kind of getting you ready for for that major course and stuff. Because like if you're going into like a science related, you're gonna take chemistry, biology, and stuff like that. Business related, economics, some kind of statistics and stuff. And based on like how you're interested in those classes, you can transfer out of it.
So, as for what you said, people can switch out when they get to college, right? But the idea is that since it's paid by the state, they're using tax dollars, right? We are dedicating our collective money, right? Our power.
Public school.
Yeah, we're talking about, because like when they.
I feel like either way, that's kind of what already happens now.
I mean, it's a lot more general, right? But it's not so much that we dedicated a lot more professionals into training these people into specific roles, right? I feel like that's much more of a, what's the word? A waste. I feel like that'd be deemed more of a waste from like the government standpoint. Like, why would I want to do this? If these kids are just gonna waste all that training for nothing.
That's just kind of on them then. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I also feel like in high school the work is a whole lot easier.
Easy.
The work amount is probably, I mean, depending on the class in college, you may or may not have a lot of work. I feel like taking the time in the core classes especially to like, okay, this is how you need to study.
Mm-hmm.
But like not making them, not just having one way, having multiple ways. Because like with the standardized tests, it's like you need to study this and this only. Because it's gonna be on a test.
Mm-hmm.
If you're teaching for mastery, you're gonna be like, okay, this is what you need to study. You can study this way or this way, you know, whichever one fits best for you, and that's what happens in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that'll get students a lot more prepared.
Is there anything else you want to particularly talk about, like school-wise?
Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to the student. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they can put in a whole lot of work.
Put in the work, put in the
and
hours.
get
Take
the
what's
results
there.
that they want. You have some students that just don't even care, don't show up to school, or if they do, they go and skip class.
I do that Sigma grandson.
They waste time, and then you have those students that go and strive for their best and then get the best results and go on to college. You know?
I'm one of those time wasters. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna doll it up or fancy nothing.
I mean, but like, there's nothing wrong with people not going to college as long as you're going into the labor force.
I'm doing nothing. I am stuck at a crossroads, and I just have been standing there. It's not just a two-way. It's like there's like 8 different paths I can go down. And I don't know which one I want to go down, so I just sit there paralyzed. I'm like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? I don't know. I'm pretty useless to society. Yeah.
Well, and I
Sorry,
feel like,
sir.
so like this like life lesson, the biggest thing is like change. You know, you're gonna go through a lot of changes in life. One of the best and most successful people, and probably the happiest people, know how to deal with that change and know how to make the best of it. You know, some people are like, okay, straight linear path to the results, and you know, most of them may not be happy. They're not gonna accept that change.
Sorry, what's happy?
They're not gonna accept that change. They're just gonna force themselves into the results that they want, even if they might not be happy or may not be as successful as they saw themselves. You know.
You think it's hard to be happy in today's society? I mean, like, because we have so many people like getting diagnosed with depression, other such things, mental illness, much more prevalent, or at least much more recognized. I guess more people are getting tested, etc. Whether or not it's increased, we can't really tell, right? Because we didn't have all the data before. But you hear a lot more cases. People, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that. Student debts on the rise, prices are skyrocketing, gas, etc. Is it hard to be happy in life? And how do you be happy, Mike? A God Emperor Mike. How do you keep a smile on your face at the end of the day? Because I can see people's argument for suicide, right? It's easy. Why would I sit here? Easy. Why would I sit here and deal with people? Why would I deal with any of these hardships when I could just not play the game? Why would I sit here?
Go hang out with happy people. Go hang out with people.
Fuck those guys. They're too cheery, smiling all the fucking time. Like, what are you happy for? What are you happy?
I feel like then that just depends on the person. You choose to be depressed. You know, they sit in their room, be on mopey all day. Go out and do stuff. Go hang out with friends. You know, even if you are by yourselves, go out to the park. Go out. Go eat.
I do those things, right? But why? Why would we do those things?
So you're not fucking depressed.
But
And you're not
yeah,
wasting your time.
but that's to be not like depressed. That's a temporary thing, right? Like, why are we just playing this game to have like brief moments of happiness, and the rest is gonna like suck ass? Why do you play this game? Why do any of us?
Or is it really brief moments of happiness, or is it brief moments of sadness?
Depending on those people's circumstances. Some people are born very privileged, aren't they? Right? I mean, if you're happy most of the time, I think there's something weird about you. Right? What are you happy about?
Well, what do you mean about happier? Like,
Because you're saying like, well, is it like brief moments of sadness, right? I
So
feel,
I mean,
I feel like life is dotted by brief moments of happiness. Most of it is it's mid, It's nothing's real special about it. But I find it's a lot easier to be on the negative side of life, right?
yeah.
There's family member dies that sticks with you for a while. Relationships come and go. They fail more often than not, right? Hit with a medical bill, hit with school. Maybe you're really bad at any particular education or any field like that. There's a lot of ways life can fuck up. So give me some life advice, right? How would, say I'm a college dropout, nothing going on in life. I'm on my meds, on this, don't have many friends. What should I do?
Find something that you're passionate about that you enjoy. I
Make
mean, there has to be
friends.
something. You can't just
I
like.
don't know, but I'm just gonna be an asshole and like just negative Nancy this whole
You
time.
can't just be like, oh, I'm just
I don't
just
like
here.
it.
No.
Passionate about nothing. Why am I here? I don't know.
I mean, if you don't want to be.
Yeah, so, I don't know, like, what do you say to people who are just negative? Like, at that point,
Go kill yourself.
yeah, do you encourage suicide? Like, if someone, because I'm being that real negative person because I want to ask the question about at what point should you just let someone kill themselves? Is suicide a good topic? I don't know what that is. No? We're raising awareness. We want to support people. It's a good thing. Yes.
I mean, obviously, it's you shouldn't.
Should never kill
someone
yourself.
kill
Should
yourself
never
or
be an
something.
option.
Yeah, it should. I mean, what is it like being dead? Like you're just like.
You ever
just
sat down and thought about
Yeah,
that?
you
Like,
just like go to sleep and you just like, what do you do? Dream the whole time?
Because it's hard to imagine a spot where your consciousness isn't a thing. Because even you thinking about it, you're still there. It's hard to just imagine or even fathom a world where your inner monologue ceases to exist.
Like I want to ask someone who's like.
I want to ask someone who's dead.
Whose heart has stopped beating and stuff, and you know how now they're like dead for like that brief moment, but then they're like brought back to life with like CPR or something. I want to ask someone that's been through that, like, did you see anything? Like,
I mean, there's a lot of books about that. There's some people that say there's nothing. It's the void. And then there's all these people that are like, Jesus, I found him. I went
well,
up.
I guess it's like
Fist bumped God. I was
what
like,
your
oh, shit.
religious beliefs are too, because like some people believe in heaven, some people believe in being reincarnated.
Maybe. I don't know. But all I know is that when I die, I'm going to be looking up at all you guys. I hope you're all having a good life. Man, other things. I don't know if you like. Are you involved much in more political things?
Kind of.
Right? It doesn't have to be too political. Just in general, like the way the country goes. Because I like the thought of you guys being God emperors. If there's anything that you would change? Nothing. You're just happy with how things are, Brandon. You're just like, dude, life's perfect. I would make everyone listen to my Spotify. I would make nothing.
Things are right. I mean, there's obviously things you can do to change the world, or if you want to change the world. But I think it all starts at a small level, or like locally.
That's why Brandon's gonna run for mayor of San Marcos, Texas.
Got
Brandon
my
vote for
Ford.
me.
You got